Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. Tomorrow night, ABC airs a 25th anniversary reunion of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, which starred Brandy in the title role across Whitney Houston's fairy godmother in 1997. I spoke to Brandy in 2017 when she visited the Kennedy Center to play Roxy Hart in Chicago, the iconic musical created by Bob Fosse on Broadway before becoming an Oscar-winning movie directed by Rob Marshall, who coincidentally choreographed Brandy in the Cinderella TV movie. Brandy, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This isn't the first time you played the role, right? You did your Broadway debut in it. What was it, like in 2015 in the same role up in New York at the Ambassador Theater? Memories of that real quick. And how excited are you to be back in the same role?
I'm excited. I love this role. Roxy Hart is she's so phenomenal. She's a dreamer. She never gives up, and she can sing, she can dance, and I just love her. She's funny, and she really helped me to dream again in my own life. And so this role is a blessing for me. So every time I get a chance to play her, whether it be in Broadway, on Broadway, at the Pantages in LA, or at the Kennedy Center in DC, I'm just happy to play her every chance that I get. I told my family at Broadway, I was like, listen, I want to be Roxy forever. I want to play her many times as I can play her, because I love the songs, I love the musical, I love the people, and it's great to just be introduced to a new audience every night. So I love it. Nothing is like theater. Nothing is like it.
Absolutely. You said just then that the role helped you dream again in your real life. What do you mean by that?
Well, there was a time where I wasn't dreaming a lot. I didn't know really what my purpose was. I didn't know, the direction that I needed to go in. And when I got the call to, play this role, I was able to dream through her eyes, because in the entire musical, she's trying to make her dreams come true, which is why she, has the accident with Fred Casey. She shoots him because she feels like, you promised me all of these dreams and you didn't make my dreams come true. Because now she's in jail and she's still dreaming in jail. No matter where Roxy is, she's going to dream. She's going to see herself on vaudeville just doing her thing. And I just love that about her. And so in my life, I'm like, I don't care what I'm doing. I have to dream. I have to dream big, and I have to believe in my dreams. And one day they'll all come into fruition. And that's exactly what happened to her. If she was behind bars, whatever she did, she was able to get her dreams out there and do what she had to do.
Yeah, you mentioned the shooting. Obviously, that sort of sets the story in motion. But
that ain't what I'm going to do.
You know what?
I'm not going to.
You know what?
Shoot nobody.
Yeah, but he had it coming. He had it coming.
He had it coming. Yes, he had it coming. I mean,
do you have a favorite song?
My favorite song is Nowadays.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can come hear it on April 4th. At the Kennedy Center.
Awesome.
You have to come hear it.
Why is it your favorite?
It's my favorite because there's a moment in the musical where, Roxy feels very, very alone, and and she just starts singing the song. She starts singing about how things are going to change and things are not going to be the same, and but right now it's heaven. It's heaven right now, but things are going to change, and she gets this idea to go get Velma, and then they start singing it together, and it's just the melody of the song is beautiful, the words are beautiful, and I love singing it. I love singing it.
It's like after Mr. Cellophane, Razzle Dazzle. It's like towards the end. Yeah.
Isn't it fun? Isn't it grand? Isn't it fun? Isn't fun up and say 50 years or so? It's gonna change, That one.
I love it. Right before
I would go up on the heaven, but it's early, so I don't want to give their tickets back if I don't hit that note.
Let's not strain the voice too much this early. It's all right. Yeah,
I'm trying to sell these tickets.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna sell it. Tell our listeners why Bob Fosse and just the choreography and everything in this is so great, because I believe it came out in the 70s.
I think the choreography, Bob Fosse is a genius. He's he was such a out of the box kind of a dancer, a choreographer, and it's just timeless. His work is timeless. Like, we're still doing it. I mean, years and years and years and years later, it's the work is just, it speaks for itself. And he influenced so many great artists like Michael Jackson, and he was just a force. And I was just so happy that I could pick up a little bit of the choreography. I still can't wait to get in there in the rehearsal and just do the choreography, because it's so fun. The choreography is fun. The music is unbelievable. And I think the play, the musical itself, what it's about, is amazing.
Do you remember when you first encountered it? Did you see it on Broadway, or was the movie version your first? Or do you remember when you first became aware of it?
Yeah, I saw it on Broadway when Usher played Billy Flynn.
Oh,
and I was
wow.
like, oh, my God. And, Usher, as we started around the same time in the music industry, I'm like, oh, my God, Usher's doing Broadway. I should so do Broadway. It took me 10 years after that to do it. But I was definitely inspired. And then I loved the movie. I loved what Renee did with Roxy, Renee Zellweger. She's like one of my favorite Roxys. And then it's two other Roxys that I really love. And I love the play in general. It's just dope. And I can't wait.
Awesome.
I just can't wait to do it.
You mentioned Usher and how you guys got it started at the same time. Take me back. I mean, that's when I grew up with your music. That's when you burst onto the scene for a lot of us. So take me back to when that first broke through for you. I mean, I know you had your debut album in like '94, but the big one I remember was Never Say Never. God, that had like Boys Mine, Almost Doesn't Count, Have You Ever? That's like the soundtrack to so many of our lives. How much did that change your life?
Oh, it's changed my life forever, and I just love that. I get to sing those songs now when I go on, on stage. When I do shows, I get to sing all of my oldies but goodies. And I love those songs, and just to relive those songs through my daughter's eyes, because she's 14, and so to hear her, knowing all of these songs word for word, and not even including me. Like, my daughter will go and on her own iTunes and her own YouTube stuff to hear all my unreleased stuff, and she knows the words to my songs, and it's amazing to relive them through her eyes, and her saying, Mom, you should do Sitting Up in My Room for this one, or you should do Top of the World, because I love Top of the World, and Top of the World is such a good song. That's a classic. Like, my daughter is 14 saying this stuff about my music. Meanwhile, when she was 7 or 8, she was listening to, her favorite was Chris Brown and Beyonce and all.
Right.
I'm like, oh, Lord, please, can she please know some of my songs, 2 or 3 of them? And now she knows all of my songs. And that just feels amazing that, I could relive all my songs through her eyes, and fans still appreciate you. Even like you saying that, that was a soundtrack to your life at one point. Like, that feels good for me. That makes me want to continue to do what I love to do with new songs, of course. And so I'm just getting started. My career is just starting all over, and I have the energy of a 12-year-old, and I'm just ready to just give it to you guys the way you guys deserve. People need music. People need to feel like they are not alone in their circumstances, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm a vessel. So I can't wait for everything to continue to move forward for me. I'm really excited, and I'm not afraid to try, again.
Totally. How did you, so speaking of your music career and how you kind of pivoted back, also you had TV with Moesha, but how did you sort of pivot into this when, let's say, like, musical theater thing? Because was Cinderella sort of the pivot there?
Well, Cinderella was so long ago, and of course I remember, feeling so at home with Cinderella, because it was music, and, Whitney Houston was my fairy godmother. I mean, I was just in heaven. But it didn't really feel like what Broadway felt like. It was a musical, of course, but it was still, takes and, editing and all of that. But Broadway, that's real show business. You can't edit. You have to really, truly trust the moment and stay in present time. You can't get ahead of yourself, because if you do, you'll get afraid and you'll mess up. And so I learned through theater to just stay in the moment and focus on where you are right now. And, the universe will take care of the rest.
Is this just like a 2-week limited engagement for you, or are you going to hit the road with the Chicago as a national tour or something, or what's the plan?
I don't know if I'm going to hit the road, but there are places that I would love to do the musical. I wanted to do it in D.C., of course. The Kennedy Center is a big deal. and I want to do it in London, and it's a few other places. But I love the role so much. But I am working on my own music, and I want to tour with my own stuff as well. So I have to take time for that, and so I can't just completely forget about myself, because Roxy, after all, she's a great role. She's a role. I'm not a role. I'm real. I have to. My fans will kill me if I keep waiting to put music out. But Mary Had a Little Lamb, something out. So I have to do that.
All right. Well, we look forward to the Mary Had a Little Lamb. But in the meantime, Roxy Hart, who is your Velma Kelly and Billy Flynn? Who are you working with here?
I don't know, because it changes. So I don't know everyone. I don't know everybody that's going to be there this time.
Right.
I don't know. It changes every time I'm there. Something changes. So I don't know for sure. I'll be ready for whoever is going to be there.
All right. And we're ready for you. We can't wait. Again, everybody, it's Kennedy Center, Chicago. Brandy as Roxy Hart. Get your tickets now. Thank you so much, Brandy. You're more than generous with your time.
Thank you very much.
All right. We'll see you there.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time. I wanted to take a second to tell you about an app I really enjoy. Living in the DC area is great, and Podcast DC gathers all of the local shows that I like all in one local app. Health, sports, local news, politics, and so much more. Podcast DC is the new local app with hundreds of DC area podcasts to choose from. I can earn exciting rewards just for listening and share the podcasts I love instantly. Available in the App Store or in Google Play, listen local with Podcast DC.